when we talk about transformation leaders, example, Dalai Lama, right? The spiritual leader. Have all heard of Dalai Lama, right? So, transformation leaders encourage and inspire others. This is also known as the relationship theory, right? The situational theory. When we talk about leadership, guys, we talk about the situational theory. What is the situational theory? No leadership style is superior to others. The best leader is the one who can change her style as per the circumstance. That means, depending on the situation, depending on the circumstance, he can change his leadership style. Right? Whenever there is a crisis, he can be a autocratic leader. Whenever there is another situation, he can be a diplomatic leader, right? He can be a charismatic leader. He can be a transformational leader, right? Depending on the situation, depending on the circumstance, he can change his leadership style. Okay? The adaptability of situational leaders is what distinguishes them. So this is called the situational theory in leadership, right? So leadership styles in management. Coach. Who is a coach? Mariela, who is a coach? Leader. Who motivates, right? Visionary. Progress focused and inspirational, right? Creates a vision, right? I gave you an example. Before the year 2000, where UAE was, and now in 2020, 2010, where UAE was, all through the vision, right? The excellencies of this country, right? Sheikh Mohammed, Sheikh Said's visions. They brought UAE. They had a vision. Short-term, mid-term, long-term goals. And from 2000, when there was nothing before 2000, by year 2010, massive transformation happened. Right? Metro, Dubai Mall, Burj Khalifa, all these things started to come. And now in year 2020, you can see. Right? Amazing inspiration by the leaders. So, they had a vision. Servant. Emphasis on employees' transaction, satisfaction and collaboration. Servant leaders. One example of servant leader is Herb Keller. Herb Keller, Southwest Airlines CEO, Herb Keller. He's a servant leader. He works for his people. He's considered a servant leader. Autocratic, authoritarian and focuses on results and efficiency. Authoritarian, autocratic leader. An example, I told you the example of autocratic leader. Give me an example, Lynn. Who is an autocratic leader? The Iron Lady. Margaret Thatcher, right? Former Prime Minister of UK. Laissez-faire leader. Delegates tasks and provide little to no supervision. That means this leader is hardly getting involved. He gives the authority to empower people to do the things. Yalla, do it. I'm not going to look at it. An example of a laissez-faire leader is Warren Buffett. He was a couple of years back the richest man in the world, right? Warren Buffett. Now, of course, recently we'll see all these Jeff Bezos and all these Elon Musk and everyone has surfaced, right? But before, Bill Gates, these 2-3 were the richest people in the world, right? Warren Buffett, the owner of Berkshire Hathaway Investments, right? His leadership style is laissez-faire. That means he hardly gets involved, right? So I will come with the leadership styles and I will explain, right? Because this will not be working for all, this will not work for every field. Remember that. When you have professional people who knows their job, this style of leadership will work. Laissez-faire. Understand? Like in his company, he have all the experienced top professional people. You don't need to tell them what to do. Automatically, the functions are running. Understand? Pace setter. The pace setter focuses on performance. Who is a pace setter? I can give an example of a pace setter. He focuses on performance. He will not be happy. He always wants more. Example, Elon Musk. He's a pace setter. He sets the standard. So he will not be satisfied with what you do. He wants another notch up. Understand? Transformational leaders. I gave you example. Transformational leaders focus on clear communication and goal setting. Right? Transactional leaders focuses on performance, mentorship and training. Bureaucratic leaders are duty focused. PO duty. They focuses on tasks. They are like taskmasters. They focuses on tasks rather than so. What is leadership? As we discussed, leadership means different things to different people at different times depending on the situation. Yeah, but at its core, leadership really is just one single thing. What is that? What is that, Lynn? Leadership is one single thing. What is it? Inspiring others to pursue a common vision with you. It's very simple. The execution is what is so challenging. Yeah. It's sometimes said that managers do things right. And leaders do the what? Leaders do? Managers do the right things, but right? Managers do the things right, but leaders do the right things. Another popular notion is that you manage things. You manage things, resources, materials, systems, processes you manage. But you don't manage people, you lead people. This is leadership. Yeah. See some examples. Right? See some examples that shows what is leadership. The ability to take a team of average people and transform them into superstars. Yeah. When others follow inward and dead without being covered or feeling obligated. Another nice quote of leadership. The art of getting someone else to do something you won't, right? You want done because that person want to do it. Helping others rise to their full potential while accomplishing the mission and the goals. Right? So, remember these points. This is very important. What leadership is. Affiliative leader. So, an example of an affiliative leader. Affiliative leader builds harmony among his followers with a strong eye towards resolving conflicts. Interpersonal conflicts, conflict resolution, right? What is conflicts? When two people don't see eye to eye, there is a disagreement, that means there is a conflict, right? An example of a affiliative leader, right? Joe Torres, former New York Yankees manager. He had to manage, right, all the egos. New York Yankees was a famous what? Baseball team, right, in the world. So he had his top people. It's not easy to manage egos when you have, right, superstars. So he was very successful in managing, right, interpersonal conflicts, conflict resolution. So he is an affiliative leader. Understand? Then transformational leader. An example of a transformational leader is Dalai Lama, the inspirational leader. He's a transformational leader. Right? Doesn't seek power over others. He doesn't seek power over others, right? But seeks to inspire others to join the cause to restore Tibet's freedom, right? Dalai Lama, the inspirational leader of Tibet. Heard of him? Heard of him, Mariela? No?
They are monks.
Yes, monks. Right? Tibet is part of, now they say part of China, whatever, in the border, right? Tibet, the Himalayas, right? Bureaucratic leader. Bureaucratic leadership is most commonly on display in large classically cooperated organizations. Bureaucratic, right? Example, the gunnery Sergeant Hartman. Bureaucratic, right? They influence an authority is based on position, positional power, right? Bureaucratic leaders, positional power. They use their power, their position, their rank to control people. Yeah. Emergent leaders. Emergent leaders. Sergey Brin, right? Before he was a co-founder of Google. Yeah, remember Larry Page, right? Mark Zuckerberg, they are the ones, right? So he was not in the leadership position. He was an emergent leader, coming up the ranks, right? Having that qualities to be a leader. When someone begins taking on tasks voluntarily, yeah, helping others to do their jobs, right? So he's an emergent leader, right? Sergey Brin, he was a co-founder of Google, right? Laissez-faire leadership, less or nothing. Laissez-faire leadership, right? That's a French word. Laissez-faire leadership. Warren Buffett, I told you before. Warren Buffett, the owner of Berkshire Hathaway. Then another example, Sir Richard Branson, right? Virgin Airlines CEO, Sir Richard Branson. Laissez-faire leaders steer clear, sweeping policies. They don't interfere, they don't meddle, right? Like for small organizations, the organizations are very much organized, right? You have professional people who know their job role, what to do. You don't need to micromanage, you don't need to follow nothing. On their own, they know what to do. The job is being done, right? They will not get involved. They just motivate them, empower them to do the job. These are laissez-faire leadership, right? Examples, Warren Buffett, right? The CEO of Berkshire Hathaway. He was once the richest man in the world, years back, right? And then Sir Richard Branson, Virgin Airlines. Situational leaders. Now, this is very important. Situational leaders know how to change their leadership style according to the situation. Okay? Situational leaderships, they don't have one single style, but they can adapt their leadership style according to the situation as needed. Okay? They do not only adapt themselves and their personal style, they may need to adapt the goals, responsibilities and tasks based on the experience and performance of the group. Give me an example of a situational leader. Mariela, who is that? Abraham Lincoln. Who is Abraham Lincoln? Yes. The guy with the long beard, right? very famous during the American Civil Wars, yeah, Abraham Lincoln, right? 200 years back, the Civil War, North and South, right? In USA, in America, he was a situational leader. He changed his leadership style depending on the situation. Another example is Winston Churchill, right? UK, during the World War. Winston Churchill, British, right? General George Patton. These are examples of situational leaders. Now, the next leadership style, pace setters. Pace setters. This leadership style, pace setters, they set the pace, they set the trend, right? They raise the bar, they set the standard. Pace setters are obsessed with getting things done faster and better. These folks, these guys, pace setters, leadership style, they set the bar high for themselves and others. So it is not easy. No matter how hard you work, you may not be recognized because no, we need to do more. No, this is not right. We need to be there, right? This is their leadership styles. Example, give me an example of pace setting leadership style. A pace setting leader, Elon Musk, right? He will not agree with what is being done. He wants more, right?
That's like Tesla.
Tesla, yeah. Now that's why, see the innovation every time, keep on innovating Tesla, right? Self-driven cars. So he's a pace setting leader. Servant leader is someone, regardless of the level, leads simply by meeting the needs of its team, needs of its people, needs of the team. Example, Herb Keller, the founder, the CEO of Southwest Airlines. He focuses on his people, right? Having a high level of integrity, and he leads with generosity. He is a servant leader, Herb Keller, right? When we talk about Herb Keller, I can give you an example of his leadership style. Herb Keller, Southwest Airlines, right? In Southwest Airlines, they hire people for their attitude, right? I remember long back when I went for a lecture, right? This lecture was talking about Herb Keller, right? In Southwest Airlines, they hire people for attitude, right? What Herb Keller says, I can train people for the altitude, flying, right? But I cannot train people with their attitude. So they hire people with attitude. Herb Keller, right? Southwest Airlines. So these are some key important leadership styles as managers, right? As leaders, as HR professionals in your organization, right? You need to understand these, right? We discussed a lot about the difference between leadership and management, right? The difference between a leader and a manager, right? A manager, what does a manager do? 5 core functions, right? Planning, organizing, right? Staffing, controlling, right? Communicating, all these things. This is what a manager does. But a leader inspires people, right? Yeah, a leader has a vision. A leader is a person who works his vision towards achieving a goal. Simple example, take an example of this country, UAE, right? In the 1990s, they had a vision to be this, and in 2010, they already achieved that. And now in 2020s, they have even developed to new heights, right? Being one of the most advanced technologies in the world in terms of technology, in terms of infrastructure, roads, right? Sustainability, right? Then the important resource, people, right? People resource, HR, human resource, right? Human resource development. So lot of transformation happened because of the leadership. So now let's look at the leadership skills. The 7 leadership skills you need to succeed as a good leader, right? Number 1, transparency. What is transparency? Shilpi, what is transparency? Transparent leaders can be described in a single words. What you see is what you get. What does that mean? That means what you see from me is what you get. I'm not plastic. I don't make drama. Right? What you see from me is what you get. Genuine. Straight to the face. Being brutally honest. Right? Transparency. Not keeping one thing in your mind. Oh, Lynn, you are so beautiful. You are very good. You are a top performer. But coming to the office, oh my God, this lady is useless. I don't know what she is doing. Yeah. Plastic. Right? Transparency. This is very important. What you see is what you get. You see me, I am angry. Straightforward. This is what is important from a good leader. Number 1 quality. Transparency. Right? Transparency does not mean you are disclosing all the secrets, everything. No. Right? Transparency means you are being honest, brutally honest. Right? Trusting. Relationships are stronger. High level of performance is common. Problems are solved faster. Understood? Clear, guys? Then delegating efficiency. Mariela, what does that mean, delegating efficiency?
If you want something done right, do it yourself, right? Maybe not. So, at least no one can handle everything all the time.
Delegating. A good leader delegates. You will not do all the tasks. You will delegate. Right? They will create other leaders. They will develop their team. Right? They will empower the others. Delegating the work. Understand? That is quality number 2 of a good leader. Delegating effectively. Communication. Guys, we talk about communication even in office management. Whatever subject we talk about, communication is utmost important. Agree? Why? Remember, I told you the 5 key. As a manager, what are the 5 key principles? Planning, organizing, right? Controlling, staffing, right? Delegating, all these things, right? To do whatever, every single aspect, all the 5 points, you need communication. How do you plan? If you don't have communication, you cannot talk. You cannot send the right emails. You don't have interpersonal skills. You don't have empathetic skills to understand human beings. Empathy. How can you delegate work? How can you do staffing plans if you cannot communicate? So communication is very important. Huh? So communication is very important, guys, in leadership. right? A good leader is a very good communicator. So when we talk about communication, let me tell you this, right? There is listening skills when we talk about communication, right? I have told this, I don't know whether I have told this before. There is proactive listening and there is combative listening. Listening skills is very important, right? In communication, right? That is why it is said you got 2 ears and 1 mouth, because more than talking you should listen.
Yeah.
That is the reason you have given 2 ears and 1 mouth. Talk less, listen. Right? When we talk about communication, guys, let me talk about listening skills. There is combative listening skills and active listening skills, right? And proactive listening skills. Combative listening skills means you are listening, right, to what the other person is saying, but even before the other person is finished, you want to react to that, give your reply, to combat, right? Normally husband wife, right? Husband is talking, before the husband finishing, wife already, no, it's like this, not even listen. That is called combative listening, right? You need to be active listening. Active listening means it's not just listening. If you are not sure, you will paraphrase. I'm sorry, sir, what did you say? You want me to come for class tomorrow, 3 to 5, right? You will double check. You will ask questions. Yeah? You will clarify. Ask probing questions. That is called, right, active listening. Otherwise, what happens? Hi. Small baby has come to listen to the HR management lecture. Yeah. Listening, see? Listening. The other quality, very important. There's a difference between listening and hearing, right? What is the difference between listening and hearing? Norman, can you tell me what's the difference between listening and hearing?
Hearing is more about physical, you hear something, but listening is more about internalizing it.
Exactly, spot on. Hearing means now you guys are listening, because you are giving your, listening means you are giving your full attention to my HR lecture. You are listening, but outside I can see someone shouting or maybe singing. You can hear that, right? So this is the difference. Inspiring. What does that mean? A good leadership quality, inspire. You should be able to inspire people. That means through your charisma, right? People can be inspired, right? By complimenting people, people will be inspired. You seen some leaders, right? People are like inspired, they go like crazy, right? They will do anything for you. Inspirational leaders, right? So that quality is very important as a leader. Inspiration. So this is very important. Remember these points. As a leader, you need to have all these qualities: listening skills, communication skills, inspiration, inspiring people, delegating skills, transparency, right? Being honest, not plastic, right? So these are the important skills to be an effective leader, right? Another quality of leadership is the expertise. What does that mean? Yeah, if you are a good leader, let's say you are in a technical field, you should know the subject, SME, a subject matter expert, right? Strategic knowledge, right? Jack of all trades, you should know. technical knowledge, all these things, people skills, right? So this is very important, and expertise in what you are doing, right? So this is very important when we talk about leadership. So these are some inspirational leadership quotes, right? Don't tell people how to do things. Let them what to do and let them surprise you with their results. George's pattern, right? To handle yourself, use your head. To handle others, use your heart. Eleanor Roosevelt, right? To handle yourself, use your head, but to handle others, use your heart. That means emotional intelligence. Yeah. My job is not to be easy on people. My job is to make them better. Who said this? Steve Jobs. Who is Steve Jobs? No, Facebook. Steve Jobs. The phones that you guys are using. Apple. Anubha. Apple. Steve Jobs. Right. If you see his lectures, like I do this in my office administration, presentation skills. Steve Jobs presentation. Few slides, right? Less information, but what an impact. How to do a presentation when he introduced the new technologies, the new innovation, how he introduced the iPhones to the world. Powerful words, few slides. Okay. What he said was, my job is not to be easy on people. My job is to make them better. Yeah. So guys, remember these quotes and let's end our leadership versus management model today. Right. So when are we meeting again? So we will meet again, I think next Monday with a CHRP module, right? You are there next Monday, Vasala? Right. So thank you very much guys for coming today. Norman, Sharon, Shilpi, right? Mariela and Lynn after a long time. Yeah, after a long time. Right. Okay guys, thank you so much. Good night. We will meet again next week. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you.